catch up. No, I haven't even been trying to catch up everything from being gone. It's been crazy. So yeah, it probably is.
You're like, I'm not.
Did you give me the addresses? It must be. He said it was a few of them on that block. So are they getting repaired this year? Perfect. Thank you. Jessica's.
Hello, this is Commissioner Simmons.
Hey, Commissioner, we can hear you good.
Thank you, Chris.
I can barely hear you.
You're okay. I was just about to tell him. I'm like, Paige, might be a minute because.
Good afternoon and welcome to the City of Battle Creek, Michigan, in the Battle Creek City Commission Workshop. Today's date, June 25th, 2026. We want to welcome Peter Dams here, along with the city manager and the city staff and the city attorney. Vicki, do you want to record the roll call, or, I mean?
I'll just note it in my.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on our agenda then will be public comment, limited to 3 minutes per individual. Do we have any public comment at this time? Do we have any public comment? Seeing none, we'll move on to overview of the process, and I'm going to turn over to our city manager.
The one was Simmons. Yes.
Thank you, Amanda.
At this time, I would like to turn it over to Peter Dams to kind of go over the process that we're going to use, and then I will do an overview of what we have done in the past for projects, and then we will start our strategic planning process.
So
Thank you.
you'll take it after Peter's done, right?
Yes, sir. I will
Thanks.
take it after Peter's done.
Mayor, Commissioners, thank you for inviting me to facilitate this goal-setting session today. And you have in front of you the agenda. I'm just going to start walking you through it. We have a couple of planning activities planned to help you to set goals for the city, as well as some strategic objectives. If you go on page number 2 of your handout, it should say ground rules. One more page, Mayor. Yes. The page that says ground rules looks like this. So the ground rules are for you and for me. Just focus on the future, and focus on things that you can control or influence. That's really critical. So strategic planning is not wishful thinking, but it's rooted in reality of what you can do. I don't think one meeting at a time. That's typically in there for larger groups when we have side conversations, but I don't expect any concerns there today. Success factors, willingness to share thoughts and feelings, and have an authentic dialogue. And what I mean is I don't want any of you to leave today and feel like, well, I wish this would have come up. So if there's something, bring it up as we go through our activities, please. And then I want you to enjoy the session. It's kind of an awkward way to set things up right behind you, but we'll work this through. And there's a Did You Know section in there. Strategic planning is consistently ranked among the 5 most popular managerial approaches worldwide. So organizations that undergo strategic planning can't go wrong. It's, I find out with my clients too that they typically end up becoming more effective and more efficient. And so it's a great undertaking that you're doing today, getting it started. After today's session, we have a steering team that we're working with, and then we'll meet with the leadership team to help develop some sub-objectives to the goals that you are coming up with today. That's going to be sometime in July. If you go to the next page, we have the mission and the vision of Battle Creek City Government. The mission is to ensure a safe, prosperous, and culturally enriched community. And the vision is we envision Battle Creek as an extraordinary community where people choose to live, work, and play. I have those in there because those are our guideposts for today. So when we do the strategic planning and we do one activity, we're looking at what does it take, or what don't we have in place to achieve our vision. So that will be really critical. So you'll be referring back to that. The next page I will go over after the city manager has done her presentation.
Thank you. I would like to take a moment to review the work that the staff has been doing on the current city commission goals. Vicki, if you wouldn't mind, thank you. One more. The city commission engaged in a structured process to establish its goals, and the objectives have helped guide staff efforts. The overarching goals identified by the commission were organized into those key 8 focus areas, and I do appreciate the commission allowing me to find a few minutes here to touch on some of the projects that have been housed there. And there are staff here to answer questions, should you have questions as we proceed through. Next slide, please. The first focus area is economy, and under economy, the main overarching theme was to support business-friendly environments and local investments and job growth for the community. Next slide, please, Vicki. If you look there on the left-hand slide with the blue bullseye, so the city strengthened its support for local businesses in downtown Vitality by launching the open4bizbc.com website as a centralized source for entrepreneurs and investors. Downtown spaces were also further activated through a mix of reoccurring and seasonal programming, creating vibrant opportunities for community engagement. And consistent calendar events helped drive repeat visitations and reinforce downtown as a dynamic destination. In 2025 alone, we had numerous events downtown, drawing an estimated 53,285 attendees to the downtown area, and with projections in 2026 of roughly 83,000 people coming into the city for events that are housed downtown. I will turn it over to Marcy for the orange bullet.
So under this area, there was a focus on downtown development and redevelopment and readiness for development. Every 15 to 20 years, we are really focused with updates to our master plan. We're in a period of time where we're doing updates, and we recognize that as a component of that it's critical that we also implement a housing strategy. And for the last number of months, our planning division has led that work through our community with community dialogue sessions and strategic planning, in addition to survey work that has happened. We've recognized that our downtown corridors could be more primed and ready for mixed use and higher density for housing. So we've done some upzoning to allow for greater density, specifically along our Dickman Road corridor and West Michigan Avenue in our downtown area. As it relates to our infill residentially zoned areas, we have some lots and parcels that are smaller in size. And so what we've done is we have shrunk the number for the setback requirements, which would allow for infill development in what would normally be areas where infill development could not occur. So we're, again, creating opportunities for development to happen. In looking at our downtown area to support businesses and placemaking, we're looking at not only existing business, but also future business in regards to walkability and green space, spaces where people in our community want to live and to be present. And then continued progress towards our redevelopment ready certification, which we have completed, and we are now redevelopment recertified for that. Zoning amendments have been a focus to allow for the support of redevelopment. We anticipate that the housing strategy will come before the City Commission in the month of July, and then our master plan updates to follow.
Next slide, please. Safety was the next item, was to promote community safety, emergency preparedness, and a proactive public protection. Slide, please. So if you look at the blue bullet point, that is to establish a community oversight board to support police oversight and accountability. The city has strengthened transparency and accountability through the establishment of the COB, a key initiative supporting the city's broader governance and community engagement goals. This has formalized the COB has formalized its operations by developing bylaws and clear review process, ensuring the structured and consistent approach to its work. Board members have been fully onboarded and trained to effectively carry out their responsibilities, including review of community concerns. In coordination with the Battle Creek Police Department, the COB has also implemented complaint review procedures, creating a collaborative framework for oversight and review procedures, and reinforcing public trust. Through these efforts, the COB is playing a vital role in promoting accountability, fostering community confidence, and enhancing residents and public safety. And if you look, the COB became operational first in May of 2026, and members completed their training, and complaint review process is underway currently. The next item is related to the fire department, which is enhanced fire response capacity through facility upgrades and equipment investment. So the city, we have taken an important step in strengthening fire service through proactive planning and investment modernization efforts. while also recognizing the critical need for updated facilities. Notably, the city's newest fire station was constructed in 1972, underscoring the urgency of advancing plans for new construction and upgrades to meet current future service demands. In response, the city has initiated facility improvements, continued the replacement of aging fire apparatus and fleet equipment, and developed a comprehensive long-term strategy for fire facilities and resources. These efforts ensure that the fire department remains well-equipped, efficient, and capable of providing high-quality emergency response while laying groundwork for modern, strategically located stations and better community support. And just as a side note, we had the groundbreaking for Station 2 this afternoon. So we're moving well into that, completing that goal. Next item, please. So transportation and mobility was the next. The first one is to improve infrastructure connectivity and accessibility for all residents. If you look at the blue bullet, that is talking about our sidewalk program. And the city has taken a strategic and data-driven approach to sidewalk maintenance and improvements, integrating these efforts with the broader infrastructure planning. Sidewalk upgrades have been coordinated with roadway projects to maximize efficiency and primary focus on bringing curb ramps to ADA compliance and addressing trip hazards caused by true routes within public right-of-ways. As part of that process, staff evaluate sidewalk conditions along project corridors to identify deficiencies, and incorporate necessary repairs into the capital project scopes. Although funding constraints can limit the inclusion of sidewalk programs in the local street program, the city has strengthened its approach by completing a citywide sidewalk inventory, addressing the backlog of complaint-driven repairs, and developing a prioritized project list for future cycles. A formal rating system has been established to ensure consistency in evaluating conditions, while resident-reported issues submitted through 311 systems are tracked through CityWorks, inspected, and cost estimated for action. In the 2024-25 budget year alone, cost estimated for alone, the city replaced 14,601 square feet of sidewalk across 89 addresses, and as of mid-June, an additional 17,250 square feet need repairs across 174 addresses and have been identified. These efforts are further supported by the compliance with state requirements to dictate 1% of our Michigan Transportation Fund dollars to non-motorized improvements, reinforcing the city's commitment to safe, accessible, and well-maintained pedestrian infrastructure. The second item on this slide is the enhanced Did you have a question, Commissioner Simmons? The second item there is the enhanced transit service delivery through a coordinated regional operations. And the city has enhanced the transit service delivery through a strong regional coordination and collaboration, highlighted by the successful establishment of the Transit Authority of Calhoun County, the TAC. And this effort involved intergovernmental agreements and providing operational support to ensure the seamless transition of unified transit system. Throughout the process, the city also offered continued technical assistance and ongoing planning and partnership with the regional stakeholders to strengthen long-term service delivery. And importantly, transit services were maintained throughout the transition without disruption, ensuring that residents continued to have reliable access to transportation while the new governance and operation framework was implemented. Next slide, please. Utilities is our next item. Next slide. The first one is enhancing the reliability of the city's groundwater supply through the replacement of well development. And the city has made substantial progress in enhancing the reliability and quality of its groundwater supply through the development and replacement of the wells system and its upgrades. New wells have been drilled to meet the regulatory requirements with close coordination with the Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy to ensure compliance with system design. The city has successfully completed contractor selection for the construction phases and is actively advancing the construction of new wells to the distribution system. These investments not only strengthen the long-term water supply reliability, but also support ongoing water supply improvements, including efforts to address the TTHMs through the system and optimization and improved groundwater sourcing. As a result, the city is stronger in its position today with modernized infrastructure, enhanced treatment performance, and continued compliance with state and federal drinking water standards, ensuring the safe and dependable service for our community. We have 6 new wells that are currently active. 2 additionally have been authorized, and I think there are 4 more that are currently permitted. The next one is to develop, implement improved stormwater management through river naturalization. This is the Kalamazoo River Naturalization Project that is an ongoing long-term project. And significant progress advancing that has taken place through strategic investment in partnerships and planning efforts. There was a $13 million State of Michigan grant awarded in 2022 that supported the key activities, including the property acquisition, demolition, and environmental assessments, resulting in the assembly of approximately 60 acres of the formal industrial and commercial land, including the cleanup of the former Graphic Packaging International site, and a 3-year hydrologic modeling study completed by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers in 2024 and confirmed the project's feasibility and subsequent inclusion in the Federal Authorization Resources and Development Act of 2024, and it further positions the project for advancement. Additional funding secured in 2024 through the Michigan DNR and Eagle grants supported the design and pre-engineering work, with OHM consultant team now leading our development of the restoration plan through 2026. Public engagement has also been a priority, with surveys and outreach efforts generating strong community input and help to guide the project's design and long-term vision. We also put in for congressionally directed spending through both Senator Slotkin and Senator Peters' office, and both of those requests were advanced, and they are currently in committee. Next slide. The next item to review is environment and community design, and it advances the sustainable growth, livability, and quality and placemaking here in the city. The first bullet there is to enhance environmental sustainability through community-based stewardship and action. The things we'll touch on here are the City of Battle Creek has made meaningful progress in advancing sustainable and environmental stewardship initiatives across the community. A key milestone was the completion of the city's first greenhouse gas inventory, which provided a baseline for measuring emissions and guiding future climate action strategies. And building on this foundation, the city has coordinated large-scale tree planting and habitat restoration projects to improve environmental quality and enhance green infrastructure. Community engagement has also been a priority, with the city hosting cleanup efforts and environmental events that encourage residents' participation and stewardship. In addition to partnerships with volunteer groups and external organizations, it's strengthened our efforts, leveraging shared resources and expertise to expand the impact of sustainability initiatives throughout our community. The next bullet I will turn over to Marcy.
The next area is improve neighborhood quality through proactive property inspection and maintenance. Focus is certainly citywide as we look at both the commercial and residential side of our community, that there's a balance between the health and the well-kept conditions of both of those things in order to have a healthy community. This work is done by geography as code officers and inspectors work throughout the entire city. We implement a rotating inspection cycle of every 3 years. We make sure that every 3 years we are geographically inspecting all areas of our city to ensure that we're proactively providing equitable service delivery as it relates to code enforcement. And then identify and address property condition issues as it relates to exterior for owner occupied and commercial, rental occupancy, both interior and exterior, to ensure overall quality of health and safety living conditions for individuals who are tenants in our community, with a focus on health and safety. We, as a community, we understand that our community development priorities are to attract and retain residents and businesses of our community, and we align our service delivery to support that. Outcome progress is reactivation of our neighborhood planning councils. We've done a lot of survey work, and neighborhood planning councils have begun to reactivate and become engaged in decision-making and input throughout the community. Ongoing inspection cycles across additional areas. We implement our hotel motel registration process, because what we know and recognize is that we have individuals in our community who cannot access traditional housing and utilize hotels and motels as their permanent residence. So we need to ensure that those are also safe for occupancy. And then tracking and coordination, looking at the statuses of our properties, how many vacant properties we have, dangerous buildings, what are the conditions of them, how long are they vacant for, how do we put those back into productive use, and the time frame that it takes to do so, so that we understand the climate of what our economy is at related to property conditions.
The next slide is arts and culture, and it is enriches the community identity through creative expression and cultural investment. The city has taken a collaborative and proactive approach supporting arts and culture programming by working closely with community partners to coordinate a wide range of events and activities. Through the partnerships with local organizations, the city has helped deliver diverse cultural programming while activating public spaces with reoccurring arts initiatives and enhanced community vibrancy. Ongoing support for event planning and promotion and marketing has strengthened the visibility and impact of these efforts, while continued funding for downtown and community venues has provided a stable foundation for programming. Additionally, the city offers technical assistance to event organizers, helping ensure that a successful execution is sustained growth of arts and cultural opportunities throughout our community. Next slide. The next topic is recreation, which supports our parks, facilities, programs that enhance the quality of life. The first item there is to increase participation in recreation programming and expand access for all community members. The city has advanced recreational planning and community programming through a collaborative feasibility study to reimagine Bailey Park as a multi-sports complex in partnership with the Battle Creek Community Foundation, the Visitors Bureau, and Battle Jacks, and other stakeholders. As part of this effort, it is carefully evaluating the potential environmental impacts of converting existing grass fields to turf, particularly in relation to the nearby fields. And Verona drinking water wells. In addition to these planning initiatives, the city continues to support community access and participation in recreation by awarding spring and summer scholarships for access and helping ensure inclusive opportunities for residents. And then the second item there is enhanced park and recreation facilities to expand use and community impact. And the purchasing division, we're talking about the linear path and the paving work that we've done there. We've repaved 2.4 miles of linear path using ARPA funds and used grants to purchase new equipment. The purchasing division solicited bids and received bids in 2024 for parks improvement project, which include the resurfacing of the 2.4 miles of linear path along the Kalamazoo River, replacing the basketball courts surface at Post Park, and completing paint striping at various parks. The last item that I want to review with the commission is governance, which is advances transparent, effective, and responsive city leadership. The first is the improve how the city works and shares information by modernizing internal systems and making services easier to access. The city has modernized its operations by enhanced service delivery through several key technology initiatives. A major milestone was the implementation of the citywide ERP system, an integrated software platform that connects core functions such as finance, human resources, and billing into a single system, improving efficiency, data accuracy, and cross-departmental coordination. In addition, the city simplified website content and introduced accessibility improvements to ensure residents can more easily access information and services. Work is also underway on the comprehensive website redesign to further enhance usability and user experience. Complementing these efforts, the city implemented the accessibility mass notification system to improve communication and ensure timely, inclusive outreach to the community during important events or emergencies. And then finally, we have the collect and compare community feedback to guide city decisions and measure progress. The city did launch the National Community Survey last year using a combination of random sampling and online open participation to ensure broad and inclusive community input. To support strong engagement and comprehensive communication strategy was developed and executed, helping to raise awareness, to encourage participation, and ensure that a diverse cross-section of residents had an opportunity to provide feedback. When we look at the outcomes and progress there, we had 628 responses collected, exceeding the previous participation levels, and 22 response rate with statistically reliable weighted results, and results provided a clear snapshot of resident opinion at the time, and the findings are shared publicly to inform planning and decision making. So those are the updates. Those were not all of the projects that were housed under those items, but those were projects that I know that I've had conversations with different commissioners at some point about. So if there are any questions, I would be happy to answer, and if I can't, there are a group of people here I know that can.
Thank you. And then, Peter, did you say you wanted to go next?
Yes.
Okay. Turn it over to Peter.
Okay. So if you go to the next page in your packet with the strategic planning agenda, we have what we call the strategy pyramid. I'm going to draw it up. And at the very top of the pyramid, we have the vision. That's why it's so critical to have that as a part of your packet. Then this is the goal that you aspire to reach with respect to the goals that we're going to be setting today. It's supported by the mission. The mission is talking about the purpose of city government, why does city government exist. And from that will flow, and today we'll develop some goals for city government, and as well as some objectives. And then at the very bottom, we will have departmental objectives. The first one were from the City Commission. And the very bottom line there, we have departmental objectives that are supporting the Commission objectives and the goals. So we may end up today between 4 to 6 goals. So as you can see, each goal will have its own objectives from the City Commission, as well as departmental objectives, which will be developed in July. So this is really what we want to focus on, especially in our next activity. So the next page is called the gap analysis. So what does that mean? So we have the mission as where we are today, and we have a vision that's in the future. So a little bit in the cloud in the sky. And between where we are today and between where the vision is, there's a gap, because otherwise the vision would not be in the future, it would already be happening. So we have, this is what we call a gap. And so when you develop goals, you could just go from the mission and then develop goals and say, this is a best practice for city government, this is something we want to do for a long time, this is a mayor goal, this is what the city manager is pushing. So you may have goals that may not be aligned because they are not pointing to the same outcome. So what you could have is disjointed goals, and you could have implementation that is not really tracking very well because things are not aligned. So what we do today, we identify what the gap is between where we are today and where the vision is, and then we develop objectives and goals to close the gap. And everything is pointing to the vision. So we're going to develop goals that will point toward the vision. And that brings me to the first activity. So page 5, you have this worksheet, and I'll walk you through it. So in this gap analysis, I'm asking you to identify the most critical challenges that could keep Battle Creek from optimally executing its mission and moving toward its vision. So this move right there. So we will use the results of this activity to identify goal areas and draft compelling long and short-term strategic objectives for city government. So the first step in the blue box, next to the blue box, just jot down what you consider the most critical gaps, barriers, or challenges, things that keep you from achieving the city vision, which is in your packet. Just put down some ideas. Don't create solutions yet, just negative terms. Then when you go to step number 2, the green step, write down what you consider out of all the ones you did, what you consider your top 3 most critical challenges. And then you have yellow sheets there and markers. Take your yellow sheets and the markers that you have and write on 3 different sheets exactly what it is that your top challenges or gaps or barriers are. So you can do some wordsmithing there. And then I will collect those and we'll put those on the wall and we put like items together. So that way we can see where there is some consensus among the city commissioners. If we were just to do this over a flip chart, I can write something on a flip chart and there might be 5 people who say, yeah, that's an issue. Or we can put something on the flip chart and there's 5 people who don't think it's important. But it's on there and the flip chart always looks like it's the same value. Are there any questions with this activity?
Can we talk to each other?
Of course you can.
Thanks.
Yes. And so each of you will end up with three written quite large, if you could, so that people further back can read this. And Commissioner Simmons, if you want to do the same activity and dictate it to the city manager, she will be able to write down your top 3 challenges, gaps, or barriers.
Yes, thank you.
So when you get to the yellow sheets, possible to write large and legibly. And using the markers that have there.
So you want me to take these 3
And then
here
put
and then
those-
put them on the
put
marker
them
each
on-
individually?
Yes, individually.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks.
And the reason we have this step in between is in case you want to wordsmith some of those.
Okay,
And when you're done, I will collect those then.
okay.
Thank you.
It's all right, Peter. Got it.
Yes, ma'am.
So we can do just to put like this right here, or this one,
You can write the whole thing.
right over there. Okay,
Yeah, that way it's more specific.
okay.
Thanks for asking. Yes, sir.
What do you do next?
Oh, you take your top 3,
Okay.
put to some of these cards. 1 card per item, and then you should have a big pen there.
Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
How's your day?
Just a regular day. It wasn't too exciting.
Fire anyone?
What? Didn't fire anybody. Got dirty though.
Chris, how are you coming?
Those are
I've sent some comments to Amanda, and she's going to
Are you sending?
describe.
Okay. I just wanted to share with everyone, I do have a goal to get out of here by 6 p.m. So if we can achieve that, I know at least two of us will be happy.
Did you finish your 3 already? Thank you. Amanda?
So what we'll do is
Just on the top? Okay.
just put them like this along the table. So not on the table, otherwise I'd stick them to there. Just put them like that. Thank you.
I got it.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you. So what we want to do now is we want to put the cards on the wall, and we want to see if there's like items, and we put like items together. That way we can see if there's some consensus on some of these areas. Ideally, we will come up at the very end, we might combine some columns and come up with up to 6 different areas that would be the goal areas. So I'm going to put up the first card, and then you tell me if the next card will be the similar or will it a new category. So transportation, walkable neighborhoods, protected bike lanes, Lyft, Uber, e-bikes, scooters, connecting trails. So that's the first one I put right here. Lack of mixed housing, same or different category?
Different category.
New category, okay. Safety concerns.
Different category.
Super, thank you.
Develop a plan to grow Battle Creek by 10% by 2030, population growth. Different one. Too much focus on staff pet projects that divert resources away from core services. A different one?
Yeah, I think so.
Think, okay.
Urban infrastructure thing.
Too much focus on special interests and not the city as a whole and all our residents.
I think the same as the other one.
Same like pet projects? Restructure code compliance and inspection to support neighborhoods. Do not work against the neighborhoods. Code compliance and inspection, would that be part of housing or safety or walkable neighborhoods? So where would you put it? What's the,
Lack of mixed housing, yeah, I'd go right there.
put it right here?
It's more of a housing.
Housing category, housing
Probably
column?
would put it under safety concerns because it's about the codes and
Maybe just a new one, just do a new
Maybe a
one.
new one.
Make a new one?
Yeah.
And then at the end, we can see if we can combine columns. Community protection, police, fire,
Safety.
safety. Economic growth,
I would make say what the population.
population
Yeah.
growth.
Population.
Yeah.
Thank you. Lack of commission involvement in policy development.
New topic.
It's a new topic.
New one.
Lack of commission involvement in policy development. Lack of police training, willingness to arrest those breaking the law.
Safety.
Safety.
Safety. Misuse of infrastructure.
Too much.
Probably the economic growth one.
So where would that fall?
I liked what they said down there with the economic growth. I would put it either in that one or the ones with the focuses on pet projects and special.
Right here?
What do you guys?
Oh, yeah, you're right. No, I think that one's good.
That will work?
Yeah.
Recreation, incentivizing younger population to move here, or younger people to move here. Later hours for businesses, vibrant downtown. Economic growth? Lack of community engagement.
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah,
I'd go on the end there with that commission.
That's what I was thinking with the commission involvement.
Yeah.
That's the only one it closely fits to.
yeah, that's fine.
With the lack of commission involvement?
Yeah, so kind of like that.
We could always take things apart when we feel like it doesn't make sense. No draw for residents to choose.
And also with the economic and population growth.
Right here?
You want me to explain?
Yeah, explain what that means.
The misuse.
When I say no draw for residents to choose, I mean in making it a place where residents want to choose to live, work, and play and have viable lives. There's nothing to draw residents to.
Oh, I see. Okay, so
Oh,
Track, yeah, like.
so it's
nothing
kind of like
attracts.
all of the
this right
above.
here.
Yeah.
Then we have the last three. Lack of spaces and activities, especially for children and families.
I would say our long list. right
Almost like that.
We need like a
Like this, walkable neighborhood, bike lanes, would that fit there?
I think with recreation, probably. Either one.
We don't have, do we have recreation somewhere?
We have
Yeah,
it's
recreation
right-
with economic growth.
It's recreation,
That goes on our long
yeah,
list.
economic,
Oh,
under
yeah, we can do
economic
that.
growth.
The economic growth one.
Oh, right here.
Yeah, that's good.
Have blueprints for a house to be built on every empty lot in the city, one-shop housing.
That would make sense.
Mixed housing, lack of mixed housing. Infrastructure development, roads and housing. Those are all items that are right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these are the key issues that are keeping you in a negative way from achieving the vision for the city, for city government. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe there's one that we can put somewhere else. And then what we want to do is we want to identify what this would look like if these things would be really running well and smoothly. And that would be our beginning of a goal statement.
Yeah.
Can you,
But the one at the end, the transportation, that could go under infrastructure too.
this one?
I agree with that. And I kind of think this last column over here where it says lack of commission involvement and lack of community engagement could fit with the focus on pet projects, special interest, and misuse of infrastructure.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So where does transportation go? Walkable neighborhoods?
Like
Probably.
the lack of mixed housing, that.
Like right here, housing?
Yeah.
And then there was another suggestion?
The first column to go with
This
the.
one right here?
Yeah, into the third column.
Into this one?
Nope, the third column.
This one?
Left.
Left.
Yeah.
So what we want to do now is we want to kind of take this around and talk about what it would look like if this would be solved. So we can start maybe with this one that seems to be pretty straightforward. Lack of mixed housing, house on every corner, infrastructure development, transportation, walkable neighborhoods. So what would that look like if this would all be implemented and would be working really well?
I would envision that we would be able to provide blueprints for a house that's built on a lot throughout the entire city. So that we're encouraging people to build in Battle Creek.
Okay.
Supplying them blueprints that we've developed ourselves that are going to fit that lot and assist us in building out a lot of the empty lots.
So what would you call that as an
Like
overall
pre-established
category?
blueprints.
When all these things are happening, you have more walkable neighborhoods, you have bike lanes, everything is.
I think neighborhood development comes to mind right away, but
Or cohesive neighborhoods.
culture and neighborhood development.
I didn't hear you.
I like
I said
yeah,
cohesive.
I like
Cohesive neighborhoods?
Cohesive neighborhood, yeah, that's why.
Cohesive neighborhoods?
cohesive neighborhood.
Because I kind of just,
Right.
Just put it out.
That'll be our working goal, cohesive. Neighborhoods. And in the next activity, we're going to brainstorm ideas of what that could look like, what can be done to create these cohesive neighborhoods. And some of these things may pop up again. Safety concerns, community protection, police fire, lack of police training, lack of willingness to arrest those breaking the law.
Just safety. I think the first one actually really works. Safety concern.
Yes.
Safety concerns, but what would it look like if everything would be fixed? So that would be kind of like the goal we're striving for.
Safe
Well, training police department.
neighborhoods. Or,
it's not just that, it's like all overall safety concerns.
So safe
I was thinking
neighborhoods.
something like invite, the word inviting comes to mind, but I don't know what to go with it. Like, makes it sound happier.
How about like safe
Safe
city?
and secure city.
Safe and secure city,
Yeah.
okay? The next one is the longest one. Develop a plan to grow Battle Creek by 10% by 2030, population, economic growth, recreation, get younger people to move here, no draw for residents to choose, lack of spaces and activities, especially for children and families.
Vibrant and prosperous economy.
vibrant and prosperous.
Vibrant
growing,
and prosperous
thriving.
economy, attracting people, attracting businesses, vibrant and
Attractive.
They just call it
attractive too.
enticing
Attractive,
living.
vibrant, attractive community.
Okay, great. And then we have this column right here, too much focus on staff pet projects that divert resources from core services, too much focus on special interests, not the city as a whole, misuse of infrastructure, lack of commission involvement in policy development, lack of community engagement. So if you flip all this around, what would that look like?
Community
Hey, Peter, you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I put actually a couple of the cards on this one, and I guess I would say just improved governance, and whether it be from their elected leaders or our city staff or our community involvement, just improving that process.
Cooperative and responsible governance?
I really like,
That sounds
to, I think that the idea of it here is like collaboration between our government, and our community.
So maybe like collaborative community and government, governance.
Collaborative community governance, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Collaborative community governance? Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And the last one, restructure the code compliance and inspection to support neighborhoods. Do not work against the neighborhoods.
You could probably put that in like the collaborative community governance probably.
So what would that look like if that's positive? Code compliance and inspection that supports the neighborhoods.
Do we need this in a column by itself?
I know, it's almost like you want to move it now after we've done
I was
the
gonna
other
say,
one.
put it in the community, the collaborative one.
Yeah,
You think?
I think so.
What about cohesive neighborhoods or so?
That would work too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of fits with the infrastructure development and blueprints and all of that.
That's what?
Right here?
Yeah.
You want to move to this one?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm fine with that.
Okay. Great, so we have the foundation for 4 city government goals in 4 different areas: cohesive neighborhoods, safe and secure city, vibrant and prosperous, attractive community, and collaborative community governance. So this is a perfect time to take a break, and dinners are in there, so if you can grab your dinner, and I prepare the flip chart so that we can brainstorm some objectives of how we can accomplish this. Thank you, commissioners.
And we'll gather like in 15 minutes. Is that enough for a break?
That's,
We have thought about a working dinner.
yeah, a working dinner. We had a 15-minute break scheduled for everyone to take a bathroom break, get their food, and then come back for a working dinner.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen you. We were,
15 minutes, we can bring in our food.
Yeah.
Yale's Group or whatever, right?
302
Fiber
for
internet,
staff.
or satellite internet.
You guys have.
Oh, man.
That's what I'm saying, it's been a while since.
Yeah. Oh, wow, didn't recognize you.
You're the only one that ever gave me a compliment for my work.
conversation. Are you ready to continue?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Are you
So,
ready, Chris?
So we have a working dinner, so if you turn to the last page in this agenda packet that we have there, page number 6, our next and final activity will be to brainstorm strategic objectives. So we want to develop objectives that help you achieve what you talked about here and that mitigates the issues that you had put on those yellow sheets. And so I'll just take down whatever you say. There's a steering team that we're going to refine some of those. And these goal areas will also be the foundation when we talk with the leadership staff about what they can do to contribute to these 4 different goals. So starting with the left one, what can you do to create a collaborative community governance?
For me, I think,
Peter, I'll go on this one.
Say it again.
I think Chris wanted to say something.
Yeah, say
Yeah.
something, Chris.
Go ahead, Chris.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, one of my biggest frustrations as a commissioner has been, and you know, this is not negative commentary on anything that anyone in particular or staff or anything has done, but at times the commission seems like an afterthought as far as developing policy, and it's brought to us just for a final approval, but we weren't really engaged in the the development in the first place, because we are the closest to the people. I mean, we were elected by our constituents, and so we are the voice of the people. Now, community involvement is also important, and we attend neighborhood planning councils, and I think we do a good engagement of that, but there just seems to be that disconnect of us being involved in the development of policy. Now, I'm speaking for myself. Some other commissioners might want to take a more hands-off approach, but we are the policymakers, and the staff is the administration that implements that policy. So, how we change that, I don't know. I guess I just like us to be more aware and more involved in that from the ground up on new policy, or we're going to be talking about housing, I'm sure, to be heavily involved in what that's going to look like going forward.
So what I'm writing down is more involved with new policies. Does that capture what you were saying?
Yeah, I think so. Thank you.
Thank you.
To add on to that awareness and involvement, I think that we could do better with getting, so like when we're getting community voice by doing like surveys and that sort of thing, our surveys never reflect our city. I feel like our survey numbers are extremely low more often than not, and they don't reflect the vast majority of our constituents. So if we could figure out ways to actually engage and bring different voices to the table instead of the same traditional 4 voices that we always hear.
Kind of more effective community surveys. What else can you do as a city to overcome these issues and make it more collaborative community governance?
I see more effective communication though too, because they get a lot of people going, I never heard of that, I never saw it. And we're using older styles of communication still, like having to put stuff in the shopper instead of using more of the geo-fencing for our community, like making sure people that live in the area understand the policies going on.
So you're talking about more effective electronic communication?
Yeah, more of electronic kind of a way to do communications instead of the old. I know there's people that still like the newspaper way, things like that, but not as many people read that and get informed.
Okay, great.
How about more internal training for commissioners? In my 3 separate terms, I think that I've gotten 3 separate sets of training, and none of them have overlapped. So like commissioners that haven't served those same terms haven't gotten all of the trainings that I've gotten internally.
I agree. That's a big one.
So commissioner training,
Supposed to be a standard, standard way to do it, where they're trained on how to go about bringing resolutions or ordinances, things like that, co-sponsoring, instead of having to go about it on their own.
okay.
How often should we do that? Quarterly, twice a year?
I think at least for every new commission.
Yeah.
Every new commission, yeah.
For every new commission?
But you have different kinds of, every time we get a new commission or new commissioners, it's gonna be a different dynamic.
And everybody doesn't have to, like, if you feel like you've been to that training 5 times, you don't want to go because you know what they're going to talk about, then don't go, but it should still be available for people who haven't had that chance.
Well, it's more like we could put that more in a rotationary period where it was like, this year's this focus and this year's the next focus on something else, and it's like a 4 to 5, so you get a refresher, because the vehicle that I drive, I have to be, and just take an example from my life, I gotta be DOT certified, and we do get like recertifications with different topics every 2 to 3 months. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to have a workshop or a collaborative event where we go over something for a half hour that we haven't, and maybe it would be discussed between the commissioners what type of topic we need to look into instead of bringing something that's canned that we've already seen before, like you said.
Yeah.
But also keeping in mind, like, just with like having when new commissioners come on, having that, or, you know,
Yeah, new person.
broad, like,
I see what you're saying, like an onboarding for new people.
Yeah.
That'll be the standard
that's
training.
definitely, I think, been a challenge, I think.
So like a commissioner orientation,
Yeah,
that is always the same.
yeah. That needs to be standardized a little bit, but
I think
we also need refresher courses for us of what's coming down, especially like municipal league, like we've talked about before with properties and other things.
We also need to pick whether we're gonna go, with MML or NLC for, other outside training, maybe focus on one so we don't have everything spread out as much.
Well, and I think also make it more attainable so that those who want to go can all go instead
Yeah,
of just
more,
somehow that,
more
they would, like, work
allocation
that in.
for travel expenses for those things, because that training is huge. It's very informational.
So what can you do to
Like continued education. I
collaborative
guess.
community governance? So how can you pull in the community?
I think we need to, have like consensus-made decisions instead of like from the top down.
Consensus
Well, I
with
think
whom?
I'm saying, like, also,
The
I thought-
community, the commission, where it's not just someone from city offices making a decision and kind of letting everybody else know.
Consensus decision with community?
I think maybe like from the administrative perspective of it, having more help with like neighborhood planning councils to grow those and.
I was thinking like, couldn't we have somebody that was like a leader of all the neighbors, that kind of collaborates the temperature between, I know we can't make them all, and then I do read the notes and other neighborhood planning councils that I can't attend, but is there someone that could do a presentation every quarter of what the, that would be, I think, collaborative.
Yeah.
That there's like an individual, we don't need 50 individuals, we need one individual to say, this is what most of them are talking, kind of like what we're doing today, gathering.
I just also think from like having us, like as the city, do more, I guess, towards helping the neighborhood planning councils kind of grow and, help them try to kind of recruit people to come and just that kind of thing. Because, we kind of say like, okay, here's that, like the tools, and then hopefully, they work out for you. But maybe we help try to get more people involved and
Yeah, a lot of
Bring
people don't even know
awareness.
what they are still.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are.
Can I add a couple of thoughts on what you've been talking about here? As far as the new commissioners coming on, I think it really is like drinking from a fire hose. When you first start, you sit down, you meet with all the department heads, and here's everything that we do, and now go vote. And it's a little overwhelming, and nobody really sits down like as a commission together and that says, okay, here, we're the commissioners who've been here for a while. We're going to share some thoughts and experiences with you. No, I did that one-on-one with a couple of new commissioners. But maybe instead of just drinking from the fire hose from staff, we do like a new commission retreat. And it doesn't have to be, a whole long weekend, but, like a 6-hour thing on a Saturday where we go somewhere nice and then we get to know one another a little better, and we share our experiences and how we operate as a body, not just what's fed to us by the staff. And then as far as the community involvement, neighborhood planning councils are great. One time, and it's been a couple of terms ago, we actually had a town hall meeting, because our commission meetings are really not structured. They're business meetings. They're not structured for people to have a back and forth with us. Now, we do that at NPCs, but it's been a few years, but we had at City Hall there in the chambers a town hall where come talk about whatever, and we'll talk back to you. We'll answer questions. And it was amazing. Actually, the mayor, a couple of years ago, sat down, we did a Facebook Live thing and answered questions that people sent us on social media. And that we had, several thousand views, people watching us and interacting with us. And that was great. So things like that, I think, for community involvement. We have to think out of the box and not just, hey, come down and here's your 3 minutes to talk to us and we don't talk back to you. It just doesn't work.
Thank you.
I'd also like to see some type of like neighborhood, maybe grants where people can, apply for these grants to do different projects in different neighborhoods that can help different areas, bring communities together. Grand Rapids runs a similar program with neighborhood grants. It really gets people involved in their own neighborhoods and makes them grow.
Okay, we have 40 minutes, so we need to move to the next sheet.
Are we good with this one? Anything else? All right, Mayor. Number 2, attractive, vibrant, prosperous community. What can you do differently from what you've been doing now? What should you stop doing? So what would be some innovative ideas to create that kind of community?
We need to encourage businesses to stay open later, to attract younger people to our area. And we need to have more vibrant downtowns with unique businesses.
So stay open longer and
Especially restaurants, bars, like on the weekends, things like that. Everything closes at 11 for the most part.
oh. And what was the second thing you
Close
mentioned?
at 9.
A vibrant downtown area with unique businesses really has been shown to bring younger people to an area. We need to bring younger people so they can move here and open businesses and grow.
Oh, one other thing is like parking. Everyone gets so confused on where to park, when to park, what time I can park.
So simplify parking?
Yeah.
What else can you do that you have control over as a city?
I think that we should welcome and advocate for diversity within the different recreation contracts that we have. Like the people that we're contracting services out to run our programs. I think that traditionally those have been very narrow, and if we could encourage some different types of sports and different types of groups and non-traditional people to get involved in that, I think that would be helpful for drawing different groups of people to want to be engaged in our city.
Okay, so more diverse recreation contracts.
I think we need to work with Kellogg Arena, obviously, and getting more different acts, varied acts, entertainment. I think we lack in a lot of areas with Kellogg Arena, and there's a lot of opportunity there to bring in more diverse entertainment and shows that people want to see.
Do you have any input on that as a city?
Yes.
Well, that's great. So you sit at the table with them and you talk about what can come into town?
Kellogg Arena is city-owned, so
Oh, okay.
it's something that we,
Great.
but I think there's been a lot of excuses on why we can't get certain shows there, and there's other areas that are smaller than us that have Jelly Roll, that have, Jonas Brothers. Soaring Eagle just got both of those. There's no reason why that we can't get shows like that as well.
Okay.
And also marketing towards the residents and not just people outside of town, because a lot of the residents aren't aware of some of the things going on in Kellogg.
Okay. So market toward residents.
I think that we should do like some community engagement to find out, like what kind of activities, events, and spaces that community members would like to see brought here, because I think, historically we hear a lot of that in Battle Creek. I think there's not a lot to do here for people in general. There's not a lot for kids to do, for families to do, and I think just really sitting down and having those like conversations, kind of like we did with the housing recently, would be really good. Especially, I know I've kind of said this a few times, but like Full Blast for me is like one of those things that it was, it started off as this vision, and the community had all the input on that and helped to fund that for the community. And then now I look at it and I see that it just doesn't seem to be where the community initially envisioned it. And I think as far as the space for the youth goes, that it has a lot of potential. But I think taking that back to the community to see what people think about it now and where we would like to see it would be a good start, but just in general. So like maybe community like engagement for events and spaces.
Okay.
I would like to see the continuation of investment in women and minority businesses throughout the city, just not downtown, but maybe at some of the commercial corridors.
One thing we had that this last weekend, we had Juneteenth at Claude Evans Park, and it seems like if there's an event going on, it seems to be heading just at Claude Evans Park, but all of our neighborhoods have their own parks, and it'd be nice to have some type of inclusive event at another park at a different time, once a month, or some type of programming where there's a bike rodeo or something out of the ordinary that's not done every evening at a different park, so everybody can see our parks. Don't do the same thing at every event, but
So hold events at different parks?
different types of events too. Like I said, one could be a movie night, one could be bike rodeo, one could be, we don't take away Juneteenth, that type of thing, and build off of that so everybody can visit around the city and not just be, I live here, I live in Piper Park, nothing happens here. It happens all at Claude Evans, like, no, it's coming around, in 2 weeks we'll be there, that type of thing.
I think we should incentivize businesses that utilize our local waterways too, and really kind of lean into our lake access or river access, things like that.
So incentivize. Water-based businesses? Anything else that you can do to make community attractive, vibrant, and prosperous?
I mean, we do a great job promoting our balloon festival, and we bring everybody here one time. And the same thing, everybody thinks of us as Serial City, but there's so much more. Promote our historic heritage and past and how it's shaped the communities around us, that type of thing. I'm more of a, I don't know, I have to say, I mean, just promote the history of Battle Creek and of all of Michigan.
Like maybe more city.
And you're doing a Del Shannon event this weekend. I don't know how many people know who Del Shannon is. Maybe they do know him and didn't know we're having an event that actually came from another community. They came to us. Why aren't we promoting that, going, hey, we picked it up because we are Battle Creek. We want to do these events.
Well, and I only saw like the Kids Day event tomorrow at Kellogg Arena on the off chance of being on Facebook on some pop-up that came across, and I was like, yeah. So I think
It's a big event.
city promoted events, more city promoted events would be great. City led events.
So more city-promoted events?
Yeah. Trying to make it a way that you want to move and live here, not
Right. Yeah.
come visit for 3 days. And stuff.
We
I had
also-
I had a great time, eating shrimps and grits. And
Yeah.
We also need to increase our focus on like arts and culture, music, things like that. We lack
Yeah.
a lot of
yeah,
areas.
we seem to be filling up his space.
Sorry, I had to have that one.
Increase again?
Oh,
Increase focus on?
Focus on arts, music, culture, things like that.
Mm-hmm. Anything else for the prosperous community?
Was part of this one, the economic development, I kind of lost track of all the cards we had on this particular
It was.
goal.
Yes, it did.
I've almost moved that economic development to cohesive
Your,
neighborhoods in my
different
mind.
events,
But
and yeah, that's great. I guess I would like, just from the economic development side of it, I know we focus a lot on, especially talking about housing, and we put a lot of energy into, and it's a good thing. We've got some good projects like the Blue Light housing development or the Milton downtown, but with large institutional developers. I've had some conversations with the city manager and other commissioners about doing some housing development, something that the city could lead that would engage small, diverse contractors, businesses to build homes and from the housing standpoint. But I think sometimes our focus is that, oh yeah, bring this big developer in, but I think we could diversify that.
So diversify the developers who are building homes?
Homes, or pick your category from economic development.
Okay.
I know we have like our small business area too, but it'd be good to have like a place where people that are looking at opening businesses could go for resources or things that the city can help with and streamlining that
The
process.
business
As much as possible.
business incubator.
So business incubator?
Yeah, a lot of people aren't aware of the resources that are available.
So make people aware of existing resources. Anything else for a prosperous community, attractive, vibrant community? If you think of something after the session, you can always email it to the city manager and we'll put it on the list. Let's move to the third one, safe and secure city. What can you do differently, more of, less of, start doing with respect to making the city more safe and secure?
I think maybe involvement of more, we have the police officers that are involved in different projects, like the trick-or-treating and stuff like that, but involving more officers that have more exposure to the community, because it seems to be, usually there's the select few that are involved, but I think we need a bigger group of officers that have more exposure to civilians in the area that can kind of grow that rapport with them and
Okay.
communication with them.
I think more of our city services, police and fire, need to collaborate together more.
Yeah.
instead of having some of this different departmental stuff.
Yes.
It's almost like we're living in a different time now. It used to be, don't get into my lane, don't get into yours, but we need to collaborate more to work together and make sure that we're all communicating on a forward vision, not, well, police got this and fire didn't, and I'm not gonna talk to anybody anymore. And that's some of the communications I've seen.
I think we need to look at policies also that limit which calls police respond to, particularly civil issues, because it takes away from other areas that officers are needed that, you know, could be emergency in nature or medical in nature. And we really don't need to allocate those resources to these individuals. And people that are abusing the system should also be held accountable. Residents that are calling over and over and weaponizing them.
So review policies regarding the type of calls to respond to?
Yes, and holding those people accountable that abuse the system.
Okay, that abuse the system.
I know this happens all the time at our MPCs, but we should probably have some type of event where everybody's coming together to talk about their community problems and what they're seeing. And it's almost like that, make sure that everybody's getting the proper services that they do. We hear a lot of things about people parking correctly and things like that at MPCs, but they don't feel that they're being heard at a higher level. It's almost like we should have a workshop with, kind of like what Commissioner Simmons was talking about with the commission, but more with the public safety departments and water department, because a lot of people are been scared lately because of the water. Different workshops with different departments that they can talk to face and get answers. Where I'm brainstorming on that.
Okay. So what do you envision happening at those workshops?
More like an open dialogue where people can get questions answered, because just to give an example, like last week when we talked about our water services, a lot of people didn't have an opportunity to learn and understand what the language was meant, and it kind of caused a confusion of why rates have to go up, and they're like, well, that's because this is inflationary on certain products, and this is what we've got, and which is what we have. It's I've visited down in our DPW, just some of the information they got on the walls is very great for the public to have knowledge of, and they can't all go down and visit the DPW, but it'd be nice to have an event like this. I know we do the one at the Kellogg Arena, but this is more of an informative event that will be on Access Vision that people can see and say, oh, now I know how the water system really works. I don't just turn on my faucet. There's actually infrastructure that goes with it, and there's a reason why there's a water readiness fee. Because you couldn't afford to pay for that right away for collections, how the system works.
Okay.
Those type of workshops.
How often, Patrick?
How often would we have a workshop on
Yeah,
something?
how often would you propose that?
I would almost bi-quarterly, every 6 months, depending on, and on citizen input on that. What do we really want you to see? Because a lot of people say we're hiding behind stuff, and it's not.
Right.
It's there, but people are busy in life. They don't have time to run down to every department, and our people don't have the time to do that. They have a job they got to do every day, sweeping the streets, fixing the parking lights, that type of thing. It would be almost like a collaborative moment where they get an hour or two to meet with some of these people that are working very hard every day, and all they hear is complaints, and they could get some compliments too. So it sounds like a good deal.
Yeah.
We have 20 minutes.
And
I
also
would-
be good to have some more, I think there's a lot of officers in the department that do a fantastic job, but I think more training for Terry stops and things like that, so they understand the policies that they should be adhering to.
And
More
just
training for
reviewing
traffic
our
stops,
policies.
you said?
Sorry. Terry stops.
Oh, I don't know what that is. Terry?
Terry.
I'll also like to see us review our policies to make sure that our policies align with best practices. Recently, I've been hearing a lot of, well, that's the policy, but also, yeah, I don't think that that's right. So if we don't think that it's right, why are we still training on these policies instead of changing our policies so that they're right?
I think that we need to look at a different way of communication for the police department besides signal.
Different communication for police department.
Yes, besides the signal app.
I would like to I would like to see more promotional uses, again, using newer communication technology of what our fire and police and the heroes of our city, even people that work here in the city, like promote what's going on more in a better media, instead of just like the fire department showed up and helped put out a fire at so-and-so at 3 in the morning. Let's have the people that were out there that fought the fire and say, you know, if they're willing to do a video or some type of community interview and
Right.
say, and say to them, we thank you for your time, like an interview with firemen, policemen, city official.
Right.
We're doing something good that's promoting our area. Everything's always bad. And that stuff shows up on the media right away, the bad stuff, but we never get the good.
Maybe we can like nominate someone from various departments that does go a step above and really help, you know, secure, safe city
Yeah.
aspect of it.
Even in our commission meetings, you know,
Mhm.
show off the officials that have done really
Right,
good.
like if we have a firefighter that really kind of went above and beyond and are
I
exemplary.
mean, we even
should be.
we even slightly cut taxes. We should give one to Aaron one night and say, thank you, Aaron, for your
Right,
time for leading the
exactly.
department that way. So.
Yeah, it could be any department.
Anything, yes, that's what I'm trying to make it, again, I don't, maybe everybody uses the word
Yeah, I think
first,
that, yeah, recognizing those individuals, like
Yeah, go
Brianne
above
and,
and
you know, the social media, she's done an amazing job. There's so many,
but, yeah,
For Safe and Secure City, I would also like to see for us to continue planning for future and longevity of our infrastructure.
Do you talk about infrastructure in general or just public safety infrastructure?
Public safety infrastructure.
I'm thinking
And
neighborhood,
equipment.
oh, what's the word?
that last.
Structure, like what we're doing in Cliff. That's helping those people many times, getting all that sewer redone that's been there for 50 years. It'd be great to have that promotion on a great positive plan, like, yes, it's unfortunate your roads are this way, but you're gonna love it years from now. You know, and that's what we're doing around the city, is doing our build of the infrastructure. Show you that we want you to live here for 50 years and have safe
Right,
infrastructure and buildings and roads and
and communicating that to them, because
And
a lot of people aren't
communicating
even
it better,
aware of what's
yeah.
going on, and then they think it's,
need to communicate it better, because they're like,
yeah,
well, it's putting everything in a negative view around here.
Exactly.
We can change that.
we need to figure out a plan for that fifth fire station too, just because of the cancer-related risks associated with the existing building.
Monthly updates of our infrastructure.
Oh, I said the
using
other.
social media.
I think,
So monthly updates on infrastructure, what would
Yeah.
they look like?
Yeah, well, it would be like, the bridge, whenever that finishes, the Washington Bridge is now open. Look at this. Thank you for everyone who had to put up with this. Now it's
The Washington
beautiful.
Bridge, because
We
if
need
I have
to.
to continue to drive over the railroad tracks down the way, I'm gonna lose it.
Maybe we can start with Kendall. We'll promote Kendall once it gets fixed.
Yeah, well,
Which I called
ribbon
him
cutting for the
yesterday.
bridge is hands
I
down,
spoke
let's
with
do
him
it.
yesterday, so hopefully.
Gotta do it.
Anything else for safe and secure city before we go to the last one, cohesive neighborhoods?
Yeah, just one final thing, if we're kind of lumping infrastructure in with this, and I've had some conversations with my fellow commissioners and with the city manager about modernizing a lot of our intersections. We've talked a lot about four-way stops and traffic lights and things, and a lot of I'm currently living in Europe for work for a little period of time, And I drove to town today, and I don't think I had stopped at a stoplight. I went roundabouts all the way through town, sailed right through, very efficiently moved through traffic. That being said, roundabouts are a touchy subject with some people, but I think there
Not
are
speak
places.
about
There are intersections where I think we could do, let's not call them roundabouts, but traffic calming devices instead of lights, instead of four-way stops. I've seen it done in big and small cities all over this United States as well, and done very successfully. And I'd like to see us explore that, maybe on a limited basis to start until we get more familiar with it. And I think we'll be happier with it in the long run.
Seems like Peter likes your word traffic calming. You wrote it
Yeah,
down.
do
for
not
you.
write down roundabouts.
Yeah.
He did not mean that.
He
He does.
He
You already wrote
apologizes.
it down.
We also should look at dedicated bike lanes.
Okay.
And I was just thinking about something, because I know, like back to the police and community involvement, like when we go to NPC meetings, the officers usually from that area will come to the NPC meetings and kind of give like the breakdown of what's been going on in our neighborhood, which is nice. I think also when the weather is permitting, it would just be really nice to see maybe the officers that are generally in the areas and the neighborhoods to just walk around a little bit, maybe walk through the neighborhoods, chat with the neighbors, talk to the kids that are out hanging out, that kind of stuff.
We had that the other day, the gentleman
I
suggested.
just think that community engagement would be
Get out of the,
really good.
get out of the police car and come to knock at my door.
Yeah, when the weather's nice, I'd probably rather be walking around than sitting
Yeah.
in a car.
I think there needs to be a policy too, where officers, when they get calls, that they get out of their vehicles and look into the issue, instead of just driving through and then deciding that there is no issue and continuing on.
Yeah, I second that. I think we need to be a little bit more proactive, not harassing people walking down the street doing nothing. But if you see something clearly in violation, like a homeless person living under a bridge and mounds of trash, and you drive by for 2 weeks, you've seen them, you stop by, and someone finally calls, and you stop, and, well, the guy had a warrant out for his arrest. So, we need to be more proactive.
Okay. Let's move on to the last one, cohesive neighborhoods. We talked about transportation, walkable neighborhoods, restructure the code and compliance inspection, and so on.
Every neighborhood should have like the core things within 15 minutes of walking or biking, like their grocery store, bank, pharmacy, key services, gym, playground.
4 things within 15 minutes, walking time.
Yeah, the big term now is food deserts,
It's like 1 mile.
Yes.
neighborhood, grocery stores, that.
I think like making sure that we have, I know we have a lot of pathways in Battle Creek already, and I'm thankful that we have those. I just think making sure that those are always well kept and well lit. That's something that I think is really important, because a lot of times, you go walk down the pathways and they're overgrown, they're not really well lit, they are kind of secluded. It probably just make everybody feel more comfortable if that was a priority to keep them maintained, well lit, and
Connected.
connected, and adding them to places where we could add them to, so that walkability and allow e-bikes on them.
And,
So add walkways.
if we could expand our sidewalks for like, I feel like every school pathway should have a sidewalk. There shouldn't be areas around schools that don't have sidewalks for kids to walk to school.
I agree with that. Well, in like some areas, we have you'll have sidewalks, and then all of a sudden, that's it, sidewalks
so
gone.
like the school that's in my head right now is Dudley, and Dudley, like if you're walking up, I can't remember the name of the street right now, but if you're walking up, there's no sidewalk at all on that street, so you will have to walk in the street to get to school, and
Yeah.
that's,
Right.
now it's early childhood education, but some kids still have to take their siblings and then go to school at Northwestern, so.
Can we add something in the safe part for like the sidewalks that are damaged from storms, things like that, that they are repaired in a reasonable manner? I don't know if this would get in that part of safe.
Repair sidewalks.
Yes. And we're not waiting a couple of years to fix them.
So in a reasonable time.
We gotta talk about code, like code compliance, that's knowledgeable and understanding in certain situations that need to be, like, everybody needs to be up to code, but understand that. It's not that they're trying to enforce you because they think that you're bad, it's to enhance the neighborhood, is what I'm trying to say here. It's like trying to make it, so it's not that code compliance are evil people, they're here to help, whatever, but also make sure that code is talking about policies and like where to get paint, to help paint your house, because we have the paint programs and other things, so like promoting neighborhood development programs, that's what I'm thinking of. Like,
So I think with
Code.
code, like a couple places where I personally feel like maybe we're missing the mark a little bit is, I think, like the educational part of it, like you're saying, I think we could maybe do better as far as to like how we communicate educational pieces, you know, to people when things are in need of repair or otherwise, because sometimes people just genuinely don't know, and like handing them a pamphlet maybe isn't the best solution, but maybe saying like, hey, you can come down and we're gonna have this, you know, open kind of workshop type event where we're sharing like the information about the neighborhoods and kind of like the code, you know, and also I think having like all of our ordinances and things in one easy to find place would be super helpful, because I get a lot of times where someone will say like, I don't know the ordinance on this, and I'm like, I don't know either, you know, and then we'll, you know, usually like Google AI it, because that's my favorite thing to do for everything. But there's not really one spot where everything's easily accessible that I could find anyways. Maybe I just am missing it, but just so that everybody can see the same information and have it available to them.
Yeah, and
Maybe we
giving
can
them
add
like
links
information.
with
like-
information.
Yeah, better
If they
search
have, like-
engine or better search bar to,
Just like on our website, easily accessible. Here's all of our city ordinances. Bam,
Yeah.
click it. Everything pulls up. I don't know, something like that.
And explaining to them the resources available if there are like, you know, roofs that are falling apart, you know, there's different things, not just city wide, but, you know, community action, different grants that are available. A lot of people aren't aware of those, but try to give them the information to help their situation as much as possible.
So a listing of resources available that are city resources, right?
I would like to have like city or like area cleanup days too, where we try to help areas clean up their neighborhoods.
Like maybe the city-led like organizational like neighborhood cleanings, because a lot of the NPCs
Right.
try to do that individually, and it's some NPCs it works out really good, but in some NPCs where you have 4 people that show up to NPCs, it doesn't work out that great. So maybe
Exactly.
like more city-led promoted
Yes.
weekend neighborhood cleanups.
Yeah, and a lot of the NPC ones are, you know, primarily parks and things like that, but if we could get different residents that maybe, you know, are elderly or handicapped people that can't, you know, fix all the things, and they've got issues in their yard that need to be taken care of, that we can kind of go in there and just kind of help out, like, one day as much as possible.
Yeah, that just kind of reminds me of Rock the Block, and we did that with the Calhoun County Land Bank, and we actually did like exactly what you're describing over with NPC 2. We were able to go to somebody's yard who has like a lot of stuff that was piled up they weren't able to get, and we were able to do that and
Yeah.
then do small fixes around the neighborhood too.
Right, that'd be
So if we
great.
could get some Rock the Blocks going to other NPCs, that sounds
Okay, maybe like where people can submit to like, hey, this is kind of my need, and then, you know, are
Right.
there volunteers in this area that would like to?
Or people can submit other people too, that might not
So
know.
what do you want me to capture from your conversation? I mean,
Community involved, volunteer opportunities, city-led, just put it all.
so I have neighborhood
Acronym.
cleanup day, city-led.
That's good.
we need more collaboration with the county though, with the land bank. We just recently did that, the other MPC. It literally took them a full year to find out what properties that were available that people could actually use and clean up. Also getting code policies changed so you can actually use your yard to, for your personal use. I don't know if people realize this, but we recently changed the code a couple months ago where even though you had an adjacent piece of property, you couldn't put a shed on it. So we just need to have more, collaboration with the land bank, but also, code changes to allow, more property use. I don't know how to, let's describe it. Because you used to not be able to even park your RV in your driveway because it was too tall. Now we've got the height limit was removed from our codes recently. And the only complaint was the neighbor said, now I can't see into their backyard. And I said, you shouldn't have been able to in the first place. But people got stuff, if they want to park their RV in their car, we shouldn't be harassing them because it's 12 feet tall.
Yeah, maybe like collaborating with code, and everybody sits down, has the conversations, and
Yeah,
what we've heard from the people that
why do we have those codes?
well, like, you know,
We
we
need
talk
to
to our
change.
community members, then we conversate with code, and we all kind of collaborate based on what we've been hearing from our community members.
We have 5 minutes.
We need to figure out what buildings are also abandoned, not abandoned, but, well, I guess they are abandoned, where the owners aren't even here. They might live
Yeah.
in Texas or something, and they're just sitting there dilapidated, and figure out a process to fix that. That, and I would like to see a TNR program, especially in the post area. We have a significant amount of stray cats.
Well, we got blighted in squatters.
Yeah.
Because the person lives in Texas, owns property, they don't know
Right.
there's a squatter on there.
And then they're, exactly. And then it's really hard to get rid of those people. And you have all kinds of other issues that come along with it.
Okay,
The
so we're done.
TNR program for cats.
Say it again for cats.
TNR program, a trap litter release program for cats, where we take,
Feral cats,
stray cats, and we get them and spay neuter them, so they're not gonna,
Okay, but the last time I tried to do that, the cat won't leave my house, you know, so.
it sounds like you problem.
Go prosper the city and send dozens of groups out all throughout the city doing great projects, and we're always looking for new things. So, if there's some way to be a conduit to funnel projects to religious organizations that would be willing to volunteer, can do that as well. And we do prayer walks in the neighborhoods. We just go around and pray about what we see. Mayor joined us on one of them last year, and walked around downtown, praying over downtown. It was a great program.
Mhm. Anything else?
I would like to revisit, and I think there was like Lime scooters or something at one point here. I would like to see about scooters, the e-bikes, those type of rental things for like transportation, and more Uber, Lyft, things like that, because there's not a lot of other transportation options.
I don't think the scooters
Increased
worked out
transportation
very well.
I heard that, there's gotta be a solution.
To connect out of the neighborhood.
I mean, St. Louis has got it, they're a huge city, and they've got a
understand.
big area, but somehow they're.
We just want it.
So rentable scooters.
I saw Commissioner Lacoste riding those scooters all over Washington DC.
That's what it is, because here we tried the
They're fun.
program, it didn't,
They're a great option for people.
Mhm.
Peter, our time's up.
well, for 2 months.
Okay, we got all the charts full.
Can you take a photo?
Yeah, let's take a photo. Do you want to be in front of the dais?
Who's taking the photo?
I take the photo.
Amanda?
And then we have concluding remarks and next steps. Oh, my word. Get a little more this way. Perfect. So smile, look at the photo, okay? Smile. Thank you. Any next steps, Amanda?
So for our next steps, Peter will take the information that is here, he will pull that together, and then our steering committee will re-meet, regroup, go over those items, and then we'll take those back to our city staff to create several goals from city staff that will help accomplish the commission's goals. We'll bring that back as a body, or to this body for approval.
Right. Any final comments, Mayor?
Will you provide us a copy of what we're seeing?
Yes, I will type all this up, yes, absolutely.
we want to say thank you very much. Thank you for meeting our goal, getting honored by 6.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Commissioners. Okay, I'll take everything down and then I got my stuff, yes. I'll reach out to you tomorrow and we can set up a time. Super, thank you. I'll take all that.